What's up, everybody? It's your boy the Noob. So recently I was playing a game that I love and I started thinking about some things. Now let me ask you, have you ever had a conspiracy thought or an idea that popped in your head that you wanted to connect two things in media that you thought were connected but have never been proven? That's kind of what I had recently. I bought this year, well, I bought again, let me rephrase that, Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a very good game. I love it. I loved it so much that I bought it once, played it, sold it, and I actually later on went back and bought it. I actually bought the complete edition. This lovely edition right here that actually comes with the DLC. I actually went out and bought this one because I loved it so much. But the thing about this game that I loved was stories started to pop in my head. What happened before it? What happens after it? I also started having these thoughts because there are a few rumors out there that they may be working on a Horizon Zero Dawn Volume 2, which I hope they are. But as I said, I was also thinking about what happened before it. Now, my mind works very weird. I remember things that aren't really important. They stick in the back of my head, but they come out randomly. And then I remembered a game from the previous generation of systems, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, that kind of felt like this could have been a very far off prequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. You may have actually heard of this game. It is called Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. This was a game made back in the year 2010. And it is actually a post-apocalyptic story that was based off of Monkey Journey to the West. I started to realize as I thought more on this that these two games could be based off of the same universe, same timeline, but with a very large gap of time between them. So I wanted to talk with y'all, give you a little bit of review of both the games, and tell you why I think this might actually be all part of the same universe. So let's start with what I think might be the prequel. Enslaved: Odyssey to the West, like I stated earlier, is a reimagination of the Monkey Journey to the West. This whole story starts off with your main character, known as Monkey, who I just recently found out was played by Andy motherfucking Serkis. Now, you should know this name. That man is in everything. I didn't know it back then, but this makes me more appreciated to where I'm actually going to go try to find this game. But, as I was saying, Monkey wakes up on a slave ship. He's being taken somewhere, and he's trying to get out. He notices this redhead girl escape her cell, who you later find out is named Trip. A lot of crap happens, and somehow Trip makes the, I'm not going to say airplane, but shuttle crash. Monkey and her survive, and while he was knocked out, Trip puts an enslavement headband on him and basically tells him he needs to help her get home or else she won't take off this headband. Now, there's a lot of adventure, a lot of robots that they fight. The world is, like I said, post-apocalyptic. It's roughly, from what I've read, somewhere between 150 and 200-something years after some great war. They first start off in New York, and the scenery in this is beautiful. The plants are starting to take over the buildings and the city. Animals are taking over. There's a lot of parkour in this game because Monkey, like his name states, was like raised in the wild, so he's learned to climb and jump and stuff like that. It's got kind of a new world, old world feel. Like the robots there are definitely advanced, but the way they're put together, it almost looks like scrap and junk was forced and put together. Like I said, this was a big journey adventure. But before I continue on with that one, let's skip ahead, timeline-wise, in my opinion, to Horizon Zero Dawn. Your main character in this is Aloy, a red-headed girl who was shunned by her tribe. Now, when I say tribe, the timeline in this is apparently a very, very long time after some great disaster. The Earth has gone through a lot of changes. There is remnants of old buildings, vehicles, stuff like that, but the Earth has taken over so much that you really can't tell. And a lot of people don't know about what happened way back in the day. The people have kind of reverted to, as I like to think of them, like tribal. Your main tribe, the Nora, which Aloy is attached to, reminds me of Native Americans. The way they've got shamans and the weapons they use. Bow and arrow and spear are the two main weapons you use in this, but that's what they feel like. There's also the Karja, who they're desert people, but if you look at the way they structure themselves and the kind of armor they wear, reminds me of stuff I saw in history books about the Aztecs and the Mayans. And there's a couple other tribes and stuff like that, but back to Aloy. She was kicked out of the tribe as a child. She doesn't know why, and she's, of course, cranky about it, but she then gets the chance to join the tribe if she passes some trials. And she does go into these trials, and she does win, but before she actually gets to go back and say, I won and I can be part of the tribe, an unknown tribe attacks the trials, and for some reason they are aiming at her. She survives this, of course, and the tribe anoint her a seeker, which allows her to go out of what they call the sacred land, and she goes on an adventure trying to figure out who these people were, why were they after her, and the secrets of what they call the old world. Now, you can already see the similarities between the two. It's post-apocalyptic, I'm going to say, post-battle, post-disaster. The enslaved one is only 100 to 200 years old, so you could see a lot of the cities. You could still see the Statue of Liberty. As they travel west towards California eventually, you could still see street signs and stuff where they can make out words. In Horizon Zero Dawn, there has been such a time gap. You could see buildings, but they are in such decay and such overgrown with plants that if I didn't know what a building was, these wouldn't have looked familiar to me. The machines in this, you go back to Enslaved, the robots are, like I said, junky, but still more advanced. In Horizon Zero Dawn, now this is a personal feeling of mine, I know others have said it, but the animal designs in this are beautiful. The long necks, as they call them, which look like giant giraffes to me with big discs on their head, when you climb them and just survey the land, I can literally sit there and watch these creatures walk all day. Now, as I said, the Horizon Zero Dawn seems to take on the tribal things. The Enslaved game, since it's based off of Monkey Journey to the West, a lot of the clothes that I noticed had more of an Eastern feel to them, which, even if they are in the same timeline, can be allowed because Horizon Zero Dawn seemed more based in, like, I would say, Midwest, northern area, maybe Canada. Enslaved, it may have started in New York, but they literally traversed all the way down to California. Even if these two didn't intersect, I can see how it would have worked that way. The other thing that made me think maybe this could be, in Enslaved, towards the end of the game, Monkey and Trip find a place called the Pyramid where the slaves are going and whoever's controlling the robots. They learn about the past there, but Trip ends up destroying, well, not destroying, but like damaging it to where the AI computer, I'm not sure what to call it, no longer functions because Monkey was kind of getting absorbed because he was watching everything. She was wondering if she damaged something. Now, if you think about that, because you learn in Horizon Zero Dawn that something happened at some point that damaged the computers. A virus came in and started taking over and just caused a whole bunch of chaos. What if Trip's action caused the entity known as the Pyramid to eventually seek out a fellow network like Gaia from Horizon Zero Dawn, and it just caused this whole mess where the machines started getting more deadlier. The proper order that was supposed to happen in Horizon Zero Dawn didn't. Now, see, I'm not one for trying to connect dots where they're not seen, but the more I thought about this, the more these two seemed like they could have been interactive. Now, like I said, the enslaved one was about 100 to 200 years difference, and the other one, they say it's possibly the 31st century, so that could be anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 years later. That's a whole lot of time for things to happen. Could it be possible? Yes. There's nothing out there that says it is or it isn't, but this was kind of a fan theory that just popped in my mind, and it's been actually brewing in my head for like a week. Couldn't stop thinking about it. What do you think? Have you ever played the Enslaved games? If you have, tell me. If you haven't, go play it. It's a Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3 game. You could probably find it cheap on the online stores or even in GameStop. If you've played it, tell me what you think. Do you think this could have been a major prequel to Horizon Zero Dawn? And if you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn, the scenery, the look of the game alone, I would tell you to go play this. I would tell you to go buy it. The creatures in this, because a lot of the bigger animals, I'm going to say, they're all robotic. You've got what look like gazelles. You've got crocodiles. You've got what looks like saber-toothed tigers, panthers. You've got rhinos. You've got all these interesting robotic creatures. And there are times I have found myself in the game just hiding in the grass watching these things. If that alone doesn't make you want to play this game, the story itself is so interesting. It's not just a quick go here and you're done. You are literally learning about the past. You are learning about these machines. You're learning about why you are special. And even at the end of this game, there's still more. So what did you think? Now, I know I normally don't talk long on stuff like this, but this was something that's been brewing in my head for a while. I just wanted to share this. I want to know what you people think. Is there a game franchise that you think might actually mix in with another game franchise? Or how about a TV show or movie franchise? Like a random thought that I had, that Hotel Artemis. When I saw that, I thought that could have been in the John Wick universe. What do you think? Have you seen that one? Anyways, let me hear your fan theories. Ones that you've come up with. I want to know about them because now that I've had time to actually do one on my own, I kind of want to go out and see what else I can think of. Anyways, I'm the Noob. Thank you for joining me on this babble, and I will talk to y'all next time. See ya.